When the original Team Fortress team was hired by Valve Software to port their game to the Half-Life engine, the development of Team Fortress effectively ended. Over the years, several other Team Fortress mods have been created for Quake, including Mega Team Fortress, Custom Team Fortress, and Attackers Go Red. Over the past few years, a new QuakeWorld Team Fortress mod has been under development, taking influence from titles like Team Fortress Classic and Fortress Forever. This mod, FortressOne, has become the most popular version of Team Fortress that's played on Quake. This video is intended as a guide for players of Team Fortress Classic and Fortress Forever who will already be familiar with most aspects of the game. This will quickly highlight some of the differences and showcase some of the features of this mod. The map pools of FortressOne, Team Fortress Classic, and Fortress Forever are largely the same. While some of the maps play a bit differently, maps like Swoop play very much the same across all three. The Soldier is very much the same across all three games. The double barrel shotgun on the right click for the air shots, single barrel shotgun available, and a melee axe. In FortressOne, the Soldier secondary grenade is a shock grenade, which is a little smaller and shorter than the Fortress Forever shock, but functionally the same. Soldiers have the same frag grenades as most classes, which can be thrown or handheld for movement. Speed gain from rocket jumping or grenade jumping can be retained through bunny hopping. Note that there is no automatic reload except when you are empty. You can reload at any time, but you cannot interrupt your reload. A similar soldier dueling scene exists in all three games. Demoman plays exactly the same across all three games. In FortressOne, you have red grenades, which explode after a short time. You can use them for movement. You also have the yellow grenades, which stay until detonated. Again, these can be used for movement. Note the amount of speed that you can retain through bunny hopping. While the placement of the grenades depends somewhat on the physics of the game engine, the detonation timing and positioning and other strategic skills that go into playing a Demoman are all the same and quickly transfer across the different games. Secondary grenade is the MIRV, which explodes into a cluster of explosions. Demoman also have the standard frag grenade. Note that in FortressOne you can have a maximum of 6 yellow pipes on the ground. Placing another yellow pipe will explode the earliest placed. FortressOne also features a jetpack, which is placed in the same way as in TFC and FF. Damage from this explosion can be blocked by blocking line of sight or by getting a relatively short distance away from it. These jetpacks are sometimes used for map objectives, similarly to TFC and FF. Heavy Weapons Guy has the same gameplay role as in TFC and FF, however the mechanics of firing the gun are slightly different. Spinning up the gun in FortressOne uses cells. You can hold down left click to fire the gun after a warm-up period. However, in FortressOne, it is also possible to keep your gun warmed up and pause the firing with your right click. This allows you to burst fire and conserve your ammo while keeping your gun spun up. However, this affects your movement. Note that your assault cannon shares the same ammo as your shotguns. Heavy Weapons Guys have double barrel shotguns and single barrel shotguns available to them, as well as the standard melee axe. Heavy Weapons Guy's secondary grenade is the same MIRV cluster grenade as the Demoman's have, as well as the same frag grenades as most classes have. Engineers are also very similar in Fortress 1 as they are in TFC and FF. They have a double barrel shotgun, however they have a railgun which uses ammo in this game, however is still used to identify oneself as a friendly. Engineers can heal armor of damaged teammates and have an EMP which can explode ammo or dead pipes. Engineers can place a sentry gun. Note that they can move around while the sentry is still being built. This allows them to gather more ammo and play a more active role while building the sentry. Sentries can be upgraded to level 3. Dispensers cannot be upgraded, however you can insert ammo and armor, which can be withdrawn and used. There is no teleporter. Hitting your gun with the wrench adds ammo and brings up the menu to rotate it. You can bind a key to detonate guns and dispensers. There's not a dismantle. The engineer plays the same defensive role as you'd expect, however the placement of the sentry guns is often different on Fortress 1 maps. The spy is largely the same as in TFC and FF. Has a regular nail gun, as well as a tranq gun, which fires single shots and debilitates an enemy and slows their movement speed for a significant period. In modern pickup play, spies aren't typically used for actively fooling the enemy so much as providing a quick distraction and a large offensive utility kit. There is no sabotage. The most effective way of dealing with sentry guns is to place frag grenades near them.
Use the double shot into nearby targets and the nail gun for distance.
In Fortress 1, spies can feign their death and appear as a dead body. Note that the kill feed reflects the latest damage that you've taken. This detail can make spy feints particularly effective in Fortress 1. Disguises work as you'd expect. However, note that the weapon you have selected is shown to other players. This is an important detail as heavies will not walk around with their knife out. Spies in Fortress 1 have a gas canister grenade as a secondary grenade. This produces hallucinations and displays lots of game notifications and sound effects. Gas also does significant damage to anyone standing within it. Because of this strong toolkit, Spy can be used on almost every map. The Pyro has been reworked to be significantly different than in TFC and FF. Your rocket launcher does not require a reload. You have a bounce back air blast similar to TF2. This is most effectively used to reflect rockets back at other Pyros or soldiers. You can also use it to move grenades or pipes, or to throw your own grenades significantly further than regularly. Pyros are also equipped with a single barrel shotgun and an axe for melee attacks. Pyros also have a flamethrower, which uses cells and deals flame damage. Typically, players will just drop all their cells for the engineer. The rocket launcher does not do flame damage on splash damage, however it does flame damage on direct hits. With the fire from your secondary grenade, your rocket launcher, and your flamethrower can be combined to deal massive amounts of damage very quickly. This rework makes Pyro a viable choice on offense, as well as an alternative for a soldier on defense. This is particularly important because Fortress 1 is played with the Highlander rule, rather than the offense being comprised of scouts and medics. FortressOne scouts have a nail gun, single barrel shotgun, and an axe for melee. Scouts have concussion grenades available, which have a similar use as in TFC and FF. However, note that the effect is different. Rather than changing the aim, the concussion effect moves your player around the map. This makes it particularly difficult to move after conked, as you can't move in a very straight line. In FortressOne, you have to drop conk rather than handheld, as handheld conks do not work in FortressOne. Scouts in FortressOne have a flash grenade rather than a frag grenade. This works similar to a Counter-Strike flash and removes your visibility of any enemies and sentry guns for a few seconds. Your right-click ability is an in-air dash. This is similar to a double jump, and it also allows you to change direction and momentum in the air. It's a very powerful movement technique. You can use this dash to mitigate the effects of the concussion grenade. By dashing in the air, you can maintain some of your speed and direction. Scouts are also equipped with a scanning device, which allows you to get the distance and direction of the nearest player. Finally, medics have a very similar loadout as in TFC and FF. The super nail gun is their primary weapon, along with the double barrel shotgun. Medics also have a single barrel shotgun available, and their melee weapon is a healing axe, which heals teammates. Note that there is no overheal. Medics also have available a healing aura, which when activated heals nearby teammates. This is audible to the enemy. Medics have concussion grenades available as a secondary grenade. Note that medics do not receive a concussion effect from their own grenades. This allows them to conk jump similarly to a drop conk in TFC and FF. Note that handheld grenades are still available, and a handheld frag grenade feels very similar to a handheld conk in TFC and FF. Using conks on other players functions very similarly. Their velocity and momentum is affected by the distance and angle from the conk grenade. Like any other movement technique, this requires some finesse and practice, but can be a very effective way to attack, especially considering the movement you can retain through bunny hopping after conking. Conking out of the water is the same as it is in TFC and FF. Just get the angle and timing right, and you can use it to reach the balconies. Because of the very similar design, the game plays out in a very similar way to TFC and FF. Playing FortressOne can be a way to visit the history of this wonderful game. It can be a way to just add more Team Fortress pugs to your week, or just something to enjoy in its own right. There's something just beautiful about Team Fortress in QuakeWorld. It's really easy to pick up this game, particularly if you have the mentalities and skill sets from other Team Fortress games already. So just comment below or in any of the Discords if you have any questions, and hope to see you in the game.